What if I told you people once put lead on their faces, drank radioactive water, or even mailed their children? It sounds like dystopian fiction, but these were once normal practices. The line between progress and peril is thinner than we think, and history is full of customs that now seem utterly bizarre. Welcome to NorthMind, where we explore the strange, dark, and unbelievable history of the world. By examining these odd habits, we gain insight into how science, society, and our sense of reality have evolved. Today we're counting down 10 bizarre things that used to be completely normal, from radioactive elixirs to mailing kids. Get ready to question everything you thought you knew about the past. In the early 1900s, radioactivity was hailed as a miracle. Entrepreneurs sold it as a cure-all, and the public eagerly drank it up, literally. The most infamous product? Radithor distilled water laced with radium salts, marketed as a health tonic. Its creator, William J. A. Bailey, claimed it could cure everything from impotence to arthritis. Even industrialist Eben Byers became a devoted fan. The effects were catastrophic. Radium, mistaken by the body for calcium, settled in bones and began a slow, deadly assault. Byers's fate was gruesome. His teeth fell out, his jaw disintegrated, and holes formed in his skull. He was buried in a lead-lined coffin. His death exposed the truth. These miracle cures were silent killers. Public outrage followed, and the government finally stepped in. The FDA gained new powers, and Radithor was pulled from shelves. But not before countless lives were lost to the glowing promise of health. The era of radioactive quackery ended, but it remains a chilling reminder of how easily hope can blind us to danger. Sometimes the pursuit of health leads straight to disaster. The story of Radithor is a warning. Not every breakthrough is a blessing. It's a testament to the dangers of unchecked optimism and the dark side of scientific discovery. The next time you see a miracle cure, remember, history glows with cautionary tales. Progress isn't always what it seems. Sometimes it's radioactive. In 1913, the U.S. Parcel Post Service had a loophole. Nothing said you couldn't mail a child as long as they weighed under 50 pounds. Some parents took advantage, mailing their kids to relatives for the price of postage, cheaper than a train ticket. Mail carriers, trusted community members, became temporary guardians, sometimes carrying children in their mailbags. One girl, Edna Neff, was mailed 73 miles across Idaho, stamps stuck to her coat. The practice was never officially sanctioned, but it happened until 1914, when the Postmaster General finally banned mailing humans. Today it sounds absurd, but it's a glimpse into a time when trust in public services and creative problem-solving knew few bounds. Sometimes, history delivers the strangest packages. For centuries, pale skin was the ultimate status symbol. The secret? Lead-based makeup called Venetian ceruse. Women, including Queen Elizabeth I, slathered their faces with this toxic concoction to achieve a flawless porcelain look. The cost was devastating. Lead absorbed through the skin caused blackened, wrinkled flesh, hair loss, paralysis, and even death. Ironically, the more damage it caused, the more makeup women applied to cover it up. Some doctors warned of the dangers, but fashion trumped health. Eventually, as the horrors of lead poisoning became undeniable, safer alternatives replaced ceruse. The pursuit of beauty had left a trail of suffering, a reminder that trends can be deadly. Sometimes the price of perfection is poison. Imagine a time when doctors endorsed cigarettes. In the early 20th century, tobacco companies used physicians in ads claiming smoking soothed throats and calmed nerves. "More doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette" was a real slogan. Smoking was seen as modern, sophisticated, even healthy. Doctors themselves smoked heavily, and some even recommended cigarettes for stress or weight control. It wasn't until the 1950s and 60s, after irrefutable evidence linked smoking to cancer, that the truth emerged. The image of the smoking doctor became a symbol of medical ignorance and corporate deception. It's a lesson in how easily science can be manipulated, and how deadly habits can be normalized. In 1930s cities, parents wanted their babies to get fresh air, even if they lived in tiny apartments. The solution? Baby cages, wire mesh boxes bolted outside windows, suspending infants high above the street. Popular in London, these cages were seen as scientific, modern parenting. From today's perspective, the risks are obvious, but at the time, the health benefits seemed to outweigh the dangers. After World War II, changing attitudes and safety concerns ended the trend. The baby cage is now a bizarre relic, a reminder of how parenting norms can shift dramatically. Sometimes the quest for health leads to heights no one expected. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, human zoos put people from colonized lands on display in Western cities. Families were housed in enclosures, forced to perform daily routines for gawking crowds. These exhibitions reinforced racist ideologies, presenting non-Europeans as primitive and justifying colonialism. The most infamous case, Ota Benga, a Congolese man displayed in the Bronx Zoo's monkey house in 1906. Public outrage eventually led to his release, but the damage was done. Human zoos faded as anti-colonial movements and changing morals took hold. Today they stand as a chilling reminder of how science, entertainment, and racism once combined to dehumanize entire cultures. Some chapters of history are as shameful as they are strange. In Victorian times, death was ever present, and photography was new. Families often had no photos of loved ones, until after they died. Post-mortem photography became a way to remember the departed, especially children. The deceased were posed to look lifelike, sometimes with family, sometimes with eyes painted open. These images, once cherished mementos, now seem eerie to us. As photography became more accessible, the practice faded. Today these portraits are haunting windows into a world where grief and remembrance took a very different form. Before it became infamous, cocaine was a celebrated wonder drug. Doctors, including Freud, praised it for treating everything from depression to indigestion. It was an ingredient in tonics, lozenges, and even the original Coca-Cola. Cocaine was sold over the counter, seen as safe and modern, until addiction and overdose cases skyrocketed. Public perception shifted and governments cracked down. Coca-Cola removed cocaine in 1903. The US banned non-medical use in 1914. The cocaine craze is a cautionary tale. Miracle cures can quickly become public health disasters. Sometimes the line between medicine and menace is razor thin. In the 1800s, a vibrant green dye, made with arsenic, became the height of fashion. Scheele's green-colored dresses, wallpaper, and even toys, but the pigment was deadly. The dye flaked off, poisoning wearers and anyone nearby. Women in green gowns suffered sores, rashes, and respiratory problems. Factory workers who made the dye faced even worse fates. The danger wasn't just personal arsenic dust-filled ballrooms, sickening dancers and guests. Medical warnings and public outcry eventually ended the trend, and safer dyes replaced arsenic green. The arsenic dress is a stark example of how beauty can be lethal. Sometimes fashion is to die for, literally. Beware the cost of standing out. In the 18th and 19th centuries, medical schools desperately needed cadavers, but strict laws limited supply to executed criminals. Enter the resurrectionists, grave robbers who dug up fresh corpses to sell to anatomy schools. Families guarded graves, installed iron cages, or placed heavy stones to deter body snatchers. The trade turned deadly with Burke and Hare, who murdered people to sell their bodies in Edinburgh. Public outrage led to the Anatomy Act of 1832, allowing medical schools to use unclaimed bodies and ending the era of grave robbing. The pursuit of scientific progress sometimes led to the darkest corners of society. The story of the body snatchers is a reminder. Every advance has its price. Sometimes the cost is paid by the dead. Science too has its skeletons. History is full of smart ideas that now seem insane. From radioactive drinks to corpse portraits, these habits show how far we've come, and how much we still have to learn. Each strange custom tells a story about the fears, hopes, and blind spots of its time. Which one shocked you most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching NorthMind. Subscribe for more dark facts and strange history. See you next time.